Focus video.
Hi, this is our week 4 discussion, and today we'll be talking about the differences and similarities between baby boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, and millennials. Wayne, you want to start off with baby boomers?
Yeah, baby boomers basically they're hardworking people. They really started. They really started coming around when World War II ended. A lot of people want to start raising families. You know, after a long, hard war, they want to settle down, want to get going with all that. Like I said before, these people are hardworking. They're really kind of behind as of like right now. If we're talking about right now, they're kind of behind on times as far as like technology and stuff like that.
Yeah, they were raised to wake up early, go to work all day, work only one day off, Sunday, and you go to church on that day. So they're really set in their ways, more traditional. Obviously, it's the older people in today's society. Anything else?
Yeah, even now, that age is starting to retire and they're still working. They're having an active retirement. So they're still carrying on how they act in that high quality work ethic that they have. And yeah, I think that could be affect the rest of the generations, hopefully, and the same work ethic can be passed down.
Unlike Gen X, who they didn't really care about the families being in the household, women wanted to actually do things. So they started going to school, and both people started to work in the household. Like, people wanted independence and do what they wanted to do, and technology started to become on the rise. So they try to learn about that too.
And for Generation X, they had dual working household, which means the husband and the wife was working at one time. So wake up in the morning, the husband leave, the wife leave, and come back in the afternoon, and that's how it was for Generation X.
Yeah, this generation mostly is responsible for a lot of the technology that we have today. I think because that was carried on from the baby boomers, and they were just able to just innovate and find ways for the future. I guess they were able to see and just, I don't know, make something new as far as the industry goes. And the technology that we have now is, I think, from their work ethic that was passed down.
Yeah. Also, Generation X was pretty big on education. They always they were really into going all the way to college, and since then they've pushed their children, Generation Y, and grandkids, millennials. They've really pushed hard for education because that's how they did it back then. All right, so we can move on to Y. For Generation Y, they were big into the respect. It had to be earned. They're just not gonna give it freely to just anyone. And while they respected authority, they didn't really care too much on titles and things like that.
Also, Generation Y was probably the start of the technology we're seeing today. Being passed on that hardworking mentality from Generation X, they really want to strive forward to get just a better life, just a better lifestyle for their future, which would be the millennials we're going to talk about in a second. So they really passed down that hard working, which led to a lot of technological advances.
And they wanted to have fun. They didn't want to work all the time. They wanted to be able to do what they wanted to do anytime they wanted to do it.
And also, if you think about it, like the founder of Snapchat's only about 20 something, which he falls in about 29. He falls into Generation Y. So like a lot of these people that we have, our social media CEOs are Generation Y. A lot of just a lot of everything, the technology in the world that we're seeing up, like GoPro, he's only about 27, 28. So they're all coming up around the same time, giving us technology.
How about the millennials? Do you guys think that they're going to be able to continue the hardworking mindset that was passed on from generation before?
Pretty sure they want to have more technology than they have now. They're born into this technology, so they want to strive to get more advanced, see where they can go, see what they can create.
Yep.
But like the only thing about that, there's only so much further we can go before it just gets scary. That's the only thing. That's my opinion. there's only so much farther we can go. Next thing you know, we're gonna have phones that projects. It's just gonna be crazy. So I'm saying, yes, it's gonna be good and all, but it's only a matter of time before it just gets crazy. And we're in that millennial stage in Generation Z. They all kind of one thing. If 30 years from now, it's gonna be a whole different world with technology. Cars will be driving themselves. It's just gonna be a crazy world.
Millennials have no fear of technology. They were born into it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a bad thing, but it's definitely something to think about.
Gen X and Y will be fearful. Millennials will just be.
Yeah.
I think millennials will continue to push forward as far as technology, but as far as like work ethic, I really don't think that they have the same type of work ethic as the previous generations, as their parents or their grandparents. Today's young kids and teenagers and young adults don't really, have that experience of really getting like down and dirty and working with their hands and working long shifts and stuff like that. That they hear the stories about from their older family members and stuff like that.
Well, even like the technology, I feel like a lot of it's just, it's almost like they're like being like set up, like like they're being like almost given a lot of things instead of having to work. Like you see a lot of like 7-year-olds with iPhones now.
Yeah.
Like before that, like my parents, it was a long time before they got anything. They had to work for every dollar, save every dollar. Nowadays, just like here you go, Johnny, here's an iPhone.
Had to
iPad.
go to the library to learn things now.
Yeah.
Hey Google.
Alright, for our next part, we'll discuss how we position the following products in the minds of each of the generations. So the first product would be a Honda Civic. Starting off a Honda Civic with a baby boomer generation, I think that we would emphasize the fact that it's a real simple car. It's gas efficient. It gets you
Safe.
from A to B.
Safe.
Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah, definitely talk about like the like crash test ratings
Yeah.
and things like that.
Mhm.
Definitely just to show, put in the minds of the older generation that this is safe, this is even affordable, like because they came from hard working, they're gonna want to get the best out of their every dollar.
Right. The Honda Civic for Generation X.
I think we should talk about X and Y together.
Oh yeah, okay, we can
Understand.
group X and Y together. Here we go.
Mm.
The household, so for both of them to go to work.
Yeah. For Gen X and Y, you'd want to talk about how it can be a his and her car. It's affordable, so you can buy 2 of them since both people are working.
Also, most of these people in the generations are parents, so they have kids,
Yeah.
and they're starting to save up or create a fund for them to have maybe their first car. Also, they want to have like it be fuel efficient, which Hondas are, because they have to take their kids to school or whatever activities that they have to do outside of that. So I feel like they could, in marketing, they could have commercials about a bunch of families or maybe just a soccer mom or something,
Yeah.
and I think that could attract that generation.
And also the kind of transition and like generation, even though we kind of group X and Y together, Y would probably want to know about the technology in the car, but because that they were the start of the technology world. They're the reason that we have technology that we have now. So you kind of probably have to tell them about the technology in the car, what Bluetooth, blah blah blah. You might have to explain it a little bit deeper, but they will know the gist of it.
Also, for our age, I like fast cars. I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys, but Honda can, I think, be seen both ways as far as economical and fuel efficient, but it also can be like they're fast cars. They can be modified.
Yeah, you can
and
put work
follow
into it and have a
Yeah.
race car.
Yeah,
So.
so
You'd also just like we said, just really lay heavy on the technology. So you can have speakers in the back, a sound system could be put in, just the fancy stuff that's really attracts the younger crowd, the more flashy, showy stuff.
And it has cheap parts. No millennial wants to spend too much money on their car.
Yeah, that's true. The second product is a iPhone 6X or X, 6S. For baby boomers, anyone want to start with the iPhone?
I think it'll be pretty hard to market to them or maybe advertise them because they don't know the technology as well as we do.
Mhm.
And I don't think that they really find any interest in it, so
I mean, the only thing you can really do is show like a commercial with like, I don't know, maybe like an older, like someone from that generation, like their grandkid, like going through the phone, like showing them how to do it, maybe like a bonding moment almost.
Yeah.
Or like we said earlier, FaceTime would be a good one. You could have a commercial of a grandmother or a grandfather FaceTiming, their newborn baby that they obviously couldn't make it across the country to go see him be born. So, you could just really, because they're a big family, people. So just enforce that. Or like we said, my grandmother really likes Facebook, so you could, show that you can do that.
Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Like, or you can do like that grandmother or that mom that homesick from their kid at college, and they want to see them. They want to see mom, or mom want to see their child. You can always say like, hey, look, you can always FaceTime your child 24/7, grandchild 24/7.
For X and Y, iPhone,
They both would work. So iPhone has a lot of charts and
apps.
that you can do all that stuff on. You could have work email. You could have anything like that. And when they want to have fun, you could have apps, games, really do whatever.
Millennials, I don't think it would be really hard to market a iPhone. We basically have to have it already. You don't even need any marketing or really work hard to position the iPhone. Most, like, probably 9 out of 10 people have like an iPhone now, so that really wouldn't be even much of a discussion.
You just talk about the camera. Talk about
Yeah.
social media.
Camera,
How fast
data
it is.
speed,
Yeah.
memory for all music and pictures.
What about how expensive they are? I think going back to Generation X and Y, it'll be a good idea to find like make ways or give the people reasons why they should buy the product since it's so expensive.
Yeah. Our last product, or our last thing to position would be the presidential candidate. Starting off with baby boomer.
Baby boomers, they're just so set in their ways. You can't really tell them what to do. You only can give them an idea, because they will pick you. You can't really pick them. They will pick you, and if they don't like you, they don't like you. You won't be able to change that, most likely. Because they're so set in their ways. They're hardworking, so they know what they want. They are at the age 60, 70 years old. They know what they want. And
Go ahead.
they don't, ain't much you can say to them.
Yeah, I mean, going off of that, I mean, the hard working part for sure, you need to find, they're gonna need to position a strategy to where they're showing that their hard work's gonna pay off. Like, they've worked so hard and so long. I mean, like Social Security, like things like that needs to be secured.
Yeah. 401k, pension.
Yeah, exactly. That needs to be secured, or else, I mean, that's really gonna be a hard thing to position if you take that away. Like, I know some people wanna limit it, some people wanna take it all away to begin with. When, I mean, they worked their whole life for that.
Yeah. For X and Y, like, they're highly educated and both people are trying to go to work. Women are trying to become independent. You could just talk about healthcare for the job, stuff like that.
Work unions, they're big on working, so they want someone that's gonna help, with low taxes and not take all their money that they, work hard to earn. Education is big for them, so they're gonna want. They're also gonna want people that care about education for their kids and for their grandkids as well. Anything else for X and Y? Alright. A presidential candidate for the millennials for our age now.
Free college.
Yeah, anything with education is big.
Education's big, and just working towards the future, because I mean, the millennials are
Jobs.
so young
Yeah.
that you really need to set in the mind that, that presidential candidate's gonna be the person of the future. They're gonna set you off in the right direction.
Yeah.
And they really want to have like lower taxes and more income. Like, millennials want to make more money
And work less.
And work less without giving up too much money.
Alright, well, that's today's discussion.
Bye.